Well, this is it, guys. It is round 16 of Super Rugby Pacific, the final round of the regular season. That means it is also the final round for the official fantasy competition. That means that you got to go all out this round. If you're not winning your leagues, you got to throw caution to the wind, maybe gamble a bit. Conversely, if you're winning in your league, you might want to hedge your bets, play with some more conservative picks, just try and protect your lead. So that's the sort of lens we will be taking with the picks in this video. We'll be looking at what your conservative options are, what your gamble and catch up options are, and that's how we'll be doing it. So without further ado, let's jump into the last best picks video of 2026. Now taking a look at the fixtures and the lineups. First up, we got Crusaders versus the Hurricanes in Christchurch in the new stadium under the cover, so no weather to worry about. And yeah, looking at these lineups, I mean, you look at the Crusaders first, you see no Will Jordan, no Whainga'a Nuku, but then you look at the Hurricanes, and guys, this is very much a B team. There is no Almoa, no Warner Durns, no Karifi, no Lakai, no Ruben Love, Geordie Barrett, Proctor, Whinianganofo. There is a lot of guys missing from this Canes lineup. And look, I mean, they have the top seed locked up, right? They don't need to risk their players. They don't need to wear them down. So yeah, that is how they are approaching this game. They are sending in the B team. So because of that, and with the Crusaders at home having a bit of a stronger lineup, I think they probably will win this one. It's just a question of sort of by how much and what will the game actually look like? How will it play out? Because I mean, we saw these two teams play not too long ago, just a few weeks ago, and the game, I mean, it wasn't an arm wrestle, but it was still quite tight, and there were limited opportunities, and I mean, the Canes were able to take them in that game, but yeah, it wasn't like a points fiesta fantasy wise. And look, if the Hurricanes were at full strength, I'd kind of expect the same thing, but because it's a B team there, maybe things will be a bit looser, right? Because you know, it's hard to make this many changes to a team and expect there to be that sort of cohesion, right? There might be a bit more loose ball, more knock-ons, that sort of thing. That means the game itself might be a bit looser as well, but it's just really tough to gauge, right? Like, yeah, I'm really not quite sure what to make of this game, to be honest. I'm really keen to hear your guys' thoughts. My instinct is kind of to fade the game a bit, but yeah, we'll see, right? We'll see when we get into the picks. Then after that, on the Friday night, we have the Reds taking on the Indroa at Suncorp, where the conditions at the moment look pretty good on that Friday night. In this game, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a dead rubber. The Reds, I mean, their spot in the top six is secure, but they don't actually have the opportunity to climb high enough on the ladder to get a home semi-final. So they're really just playing to, you know, see who they kind of face in that top half of the top six. But that's going to depend on results anyway, right? So yeah, not a whole lot to play for here. They have kind of shuffled their players around quite a bit looking at this lineup, but otherwise it's still a pretty good lineup. Jock Campbell's out, so Trayvon Pritchard, he's moving to 15, which is kind of interesting. I don't think we've seen him play there this year. And for the Drua, I mean, this season is over, so of course they're just playing for pride. So yeah, just not a lot on the line on this game. I don't really expect there to be fireworks, but it still should be a fun one. And fantasy wise, I mean, I do still like the Reds for some pickups, but I am a bit wary of investing too deeply with them, just because they did kind of struggle against Moana last week, although the outside backs did do well as we expected. Then on the Saturday afternoon, first up it will be Brumbies versus Moana at Geo Stadium in Canberra. No rain is expected for this game. And look, with the Brumbies, I mean, they're not actually resting anyone from the looks of it. And if they put on a big score in this game, they could actually climb as high as third place and secure a home semi-final. But it does depend on other results. They would require Crusaders and Blues to stumble. And that Crusaders game, it is happening the night before. So they'll go into this one kind of having an idea of what their chances are. Still, I mean, there is incentive here to play 4 tries and to get a big win. Not something you can just take for granted necessarily, but from a fantasy perspective, still a pretty exciting prospect for us. And Moana, I mean, we know they do concede heavily to the outside backs when they get blown out, but when it comes to the Brumbies, they still score a lot of their tries through their forwards as well. So I think there's going to be good opportunities for fantasy all through that Brumbies lineup. Then in the primetime slot on the Saturday night, it is the Chiefs taking on the Blues at FMG in Hamilton. I think there is a low chance of showers on that day at the moment, but nothing drastic. And yeah, just looking at these lineups, right? No Taukei'aho, no Tupovai, still no DMAC, of course, and no Quinn Tupaia. So yeah, definitely not the strongest Chiefs lineup. And I mean, with the Blues, I mean, they're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel a bit with their front row stocks there. But otherwise, it is a pretty solid lineup from them. So yeah, this is kind of interesting, right? Like, I think the Blues could take this one even away from the home. And even though, you know, they've been kind of bullied a bit lately by the other top teams. But when it comes to the Chiefs, the Blues against the Chiefs, like the Blues, have kind of had the wood on them for the last couple of seasons. And that's because of the Chiefs. They like to take the Blues on up front, right? Like the way they approach this matchup is they like to beat them at their own game. And honestly, I do think that just plays into the Blues' hands a bit. So, and even when these teams played last at the start of the season, the Chiefs were kind of lucky to to get away with that win at Eden Park, right? But I mean, the Chiefs, they have developed their game a lot since then. The Blues, not so much in my opinion, but yeah, I still think the Blues could actually tip them over in this game, although it will be a real battle. And from a fantasy perspective, yeah, I'm kind of inclined to fade this one, to be honest. At least for the backs. With the forwards, you know, there's still live options, and especially with the clouder, that potential for a bit of moisture over it as well. Yeah, that just makes it even less appealing in terms of backs. Then on the Saturday night, the late game, we have Force taking on the Waratahs in Perth. Weather conditions look good. And yeah, another sort of dead rubber here, right? Season is over for both of these teams. Nothing is on the line except for pride here. And I mean, the last meeting between these two teams wasn't actually that long ago, right? It was what, like 3 weeks ago or something. And it was a pretty dour game of rugby, to be honest. But I can't imagine that the Waratahs are just going to sit on their heels again this game and just watch the Force do their thing like they did last time. Surely that cannot happen again. At the same time, though, I mean, I do think the Force, they will be more up for it playing at home. They do play with a lot of pride, regardless of whatever is at stake in terms of the overall competition. So yeah, I kind of just expect another closely fought battle here, and probably not gonna be like a big points bonanza fantasy wise. So yeah, kind of inclined to fade this game as well. And before we get into the picks again, guys, thought I'd just bring this chart up again, this chart that shows you where each team concedes points, like in terms of which position. So, you know, we see Moana, they concede a lot to centers, outside backs. We know Drua, they concede a lot to hookers because of what happens at maul time. So Yeah, you guys can just pause the video here if you want to look at this a bit closer, or just, you know, screenshot it or something like that. Now, guys, I talked about earlier about my uncertainty with that Canes versus Crusaders matchup. So, yeah, you guys kind of going to have to make your own minds up about that one, how you think that is going to play out. But, yeah, we have a lot of like Crusaders and Hurricanes that are very strong options. So if you do think that game's going to be kind of open, if you do think tries are going to be scored in the backs, if there's going to be space out on the edges, then yeah, like Naholo, Morby, two extremely good options, right? Not much to separate them. Yeah, Morby's just been in kind of crazy good form these last couple of games. And then on the Crusaders side of things, I mean, they are missing Will Jordan, but I mean, Fihaki earlier in the season before his injury, I mean, he was just putting up massive scores. So yeah, I mean, if you like the Crusaders, maybe he is your guy to go to. He would be my top option. And you also got Sever Reese, who is not bad, but this year has been pretty clearly behind Fihaki in terms of potential. So you guys, depending on how you think that Canes versus Crusaders matchup's going to play out, I think those are kind of three options that are, you know, they're pretty straightforward if you do like that game for points. Otherwise though, as you can see, what I've done is I've gone for a double down in terms of Brumbies outside backs and one pick from the Reds. So really playing into the matchups here, right? Brumbies versus Moana Pacifica. We're hoping the Brumbies break them and that these outside backs get to go crazy. And like I said, the Brumbies, they do have incentives here to put on a big score, right? Because, yeah, if they do win with a bonus point, and they have to win with a bonus point to take that third spot, I think all those teams will be tied on 8 wins each potentially, so a tiebreaker could be that points differential, right? So yeah, they've got incentive to go out there and put a lot of points on Moana to give themselves their best chance at that third place position. So yeah, that is why I like the double Brumbies at the back. And I mean, your three Brumbies options are, you've got Tom Wright, Corey Toole, and Andy Muirhead. Yeah, I mean, kind of, you can pick any two of the three. They do kind of spread their points around, but I mean, Toole, he has got the most points this year. Tom Wright did have a long layoff for a long time, but being in that fullback position, whichever way the points go, whichever wing, he's probably going to get a piece of the action. And I mean, Muirhead, wouldn't argue with him either. All three of them should stay on the park for the full game because I believe Crichton is on the bench, and I suspect he will probably replace Fayuahi or something. He probably won't be replacing any of the back three. So yeah, I do think the Brumbies back three are a very strong option. And look, you got a similar logic with the Reds pick and Tim Ryan as well, the junkyard dog. Like yeah, those Reds picks are live. Your other option, I think, is Trayvon Pritchard. He is playing at fullback, though. I don't think we've seen him play at fullback otherwise this year. And this kid, I mean, he's still only 19, right? So I don't know what experience he actually has at fullback. I don't know what he's going to do there. I don't know if he sticks to his wing instincts. Maybe he'll be more inclined to run the ball instead of kicking it. From a fantasy perspective, that could be quite good, but yeah, there is a bit of uncertainty there. And Dungunu is on the bench as well, so there is a bit of a substitution risk here, but it's hard to tell who's going to replace, right? Like I mean, the guy, he plays everywhere in the back line pretty much. We've seen him play on the wings as well as in the midfield, and I believe he was playing at 12 last week. And I kind of suspect now that Paisami is back this week after you know, an injury layoff, that Dungunu could actually end up replacing Paisami, right? Like, if they want to protect that injury a bit. So yeah, a bit of uncertainty there, but I think sticking with Tim Ryan, he did get subbed last week, to be honest. but I mean, he still managed to run up a pretty good score there. And look, looking at these other options, I mean, nothing is that exciting to me. I mean, Dan Sinkinson, he's played that one game where he got a massive 77 points, but I mean, up against the Blues, yeah, I don't think that's going to be a great game for the outside backs. When it comes to the Waratahs, you guys like Jorgensen, I mean, yeah, I think, like I already said, I think that Tars versus Force game, I think that's just going to be a bit of a battle over in Perth. So, yeah, not really loving it. And look, I mean, Jorgo, he has kind of picked up his form a bit again, getting his 49 and 51. So he's definitely not a bad pick, but, you know, not exactly exciting either. And with Peach, I mean, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Like, he got that big score against the Tars, so maybe it'll happen again. But yeah, it kind of feels like you're hoping for lightning to strike twice there. And look, Tamai Falau, Coombs Fabling, already talked about. I don't like that Blues versus Chiefs game for outside backs. And look, there is Harkin, but we already talked about it, like with the Hurricanes versus the Crusaders. And Harkin is actually playing at 10 for this game as well, which does reduce his point scoring potential over being in the outside backs. Now moving on to the midfield. And I think first up, I mean, David Havili, he's the highest average player available, and I think he is probably the most solid option available this week. And look, we saw it last week, right? 65 points against the Chiefs. In a tough game, even without the try, he's still getting a pretty good score here. So yeah, he does have a good score in a tough game. And I mean, when you sort of look at what else is available, it is kind of slim pickings, right? Like I mean, yeah, like just look at this, right? I mean, I do kind of like the Reds options. We got Paisami and Fluke. I mean, Fluke, he did pretty well last week against Moana, 38 points. There were better midfielders available, but with the way that things sort of look this round, you'd probably be pretty happy with 38. Paisami's there, but he's coming back from that layoff, and he could potentially get some for Dunguna as well. And with Lamb, I think Lamb is actually playing on the wing again for this game, which does make him an interesting prospect. But again, I just think that Blues Chiefs game, I don't think there's going to be massive opportunities. But look, I mean, he only needs to score one try, right? And then he's probably going to be in the upper echelons of the midfield slot for this week. So definitely one to consider. And you got that Brumbies midfield up against Moana, Pritchard, and Faluai. But yeah, just not exciting, man. Like, you look at these guys' scores, they don't really light it up. And we know with the Brumbies, I mean, they do kind of score a lot through their forwards as well. So yeah, even though it's a great matchup, they're still not that exciting. I mean, Johnny Robert, he's partnered up with Josh Timu, but yeah, that's a pretty green combination. Hasn't had a lot of minutes. Tough matchup against the Crusaders. Joseph Suoli'i, I mean, again, like, just when he's at 13, man, there's not a lot going. We saw this good score in his last game against the Highlanders, and that was without a try. So we know he does have it in him, but it still just feels risky, right? Because just because of what we've seen earlier in the year. So that's a bit of a punt for not necessarily a lot of reward. So yeah, I've kind of just gone with Havili. Then I've gone with Josh Fluke as well, and I'm kind of happy with that. Not exciting, but it does feel like it's the most solid. And with the 10s, kind of feel like Carter Gordon is the only game in town. He's got that nice matchup against the Endrua. We saw last week he is taking the goal kicking again as well. Got 47 points without doing anything drastic. Didn't have a try buffering that out or anything. So I think he should be good for a similar amount of points again. And more importantly, he should be quite solid as well, with decent upside potential if the Reds really do manage to break the draw and start putting points on him. I mean, your other option is Ben Donaldson, who is basically Mr. Solid personified, but yeah, the trade-off basically is I think Carter Gordon just has much higher upside potential if the game does open up for the Reds. And with all these other options here, again, it's like everybody's just in tough matchups. Jacob, Rehana, Perifetta, all in tough matchups. Pellegrini, I mean, yeah, he hasn't been great that year. Meredith, you got that Moana matchup, but he's just not really an exciting sort of player. Rambitu's a pick I've kind of liked in the past. Like when he's not giving away cards, he's pretty good, but he's actually playing at 12, I think, for this game, which really just tanks his points prospects. And Armstrong Ravula is actually at 15, so he's kind of like the Rambitu for this game, but he just hasn't been super exciting this year either. So that's it. I'm not sure if we've seen him play much 15 this year, so potentially, I mean, he could do well from there, but it really just feels like quite a long shot, right? So I've gone with Carter Gordon, and yeah, I think it's kind of straightforward in this slot this week. Now, in the halfback slot, Cam Roigard, he is finally back this week. He has been out for 3 weeks, but he's back for this game, playing with the B team. So, yeah, that kind of gives it a bit of an interesting sort of dynamic. Will he have the same sort of opportunities available for him? Maybe not, but maybe he'll try and take the game on more himself as a result, and that could suit us as fantasy players. So, yeah, kind of a lot of questions hanging over how things are going to go for him, but at the same time, like he's the only halfback that really, you know, can just put on a genuine good score, right? So even on the bad days, he's quite often just your best option. But I mean, your other options are Hotham, McDermott, Lonergan, he could go well against Moana, but he's not exactly like a sort of snipe machine ball runner either. So he is solid though, right? He is solid because he gets those shots at goal. So he could be one to consider picking just out of straight, you know, being a conservative, a solid option with decent upside potential. Maybe he gets a try, and yeah, then he could be the top slot for halfback. But I mean, it just feels so much simpler to just go with Roigard and kind of cross your fingers, right? Like he kind of only needs to pull off one ruck slide with one line break, and you know, that's probably going to put him in front of Lonergan and even McDermott. Like McDermott, it's going to be a second game back. It's going to be against the Enduro, which is a pretty easy matchup. But yeah, didn't exactly light things on fire in that Moana game. So yeah, I think it would be a bit of a gamble to be expecting him to really light up the Enduro, even though it's something that could happen. Now, in the back rows, and finally, Charlie Cale is back. It's the return of the king. It's been, what, like 5-6 weeks without the absolute machine, which is Charlie Cale, who was just absolutely dominating fantasy. And yeah, like this guy's a must pick, and he's had a long layoff, which is always a bit concerning, but it doesn't look like he's gonna get subbed, because Luke Reimer, he is the man on the bench, so he'll probably be replacing Rory Scott, I suspect. And I mean, even though, you know, he hasn't had game time for a while, I mean, he got 130 points in his first game of the season, right? So he doesn't need much of a warm-up, and the matchup is against Moana Pacifica, so yeah, there's gonna be opportunities for him, right? Like he really does just go straight back to being a must pick, and yeah, absolutely, you must pick him in my opinion. Next cab off the rank, I mean, You always have a lot of options in the loose forwards, but it's kind of hard to necessarily put one in front of the other. But Wallace Atiti does actually deserve the second spot because even though he's second highest on average here, if you look at it on just a points per minute basis as well, he is still very, very highly ranked. So and yeah, I mean, when you watch him play, like he is playing like a guy who he's playing for that black jersey, right? He's really out there trying hard. So yeah, tough matchup against the Blues, but yeah, I'm fine with picking forwards in these tough matchups. And yeah, I think Satiti is definitely a very strong option. When it comes to the third slot though, things get kind of, again, harder to kind of separate these players. Like Tuputai Loa, he was so good for so much of the season, but yeah, hasn't been that great these last few rounds. And in my opinion, he kind of looks like he is getting a bit tired. The guy has put in a lot of minutes this year, and he's a guy with really high work rate, both sides of the ball, large amounts of carries, a large amount of tackles. So yeah, I think he is kind of running out of steam at this stage of the season, unfortunately. Carlo Tizzano, I do think Carlo is a good pick just because he's always got potential to get that try off the back of the maul, right? And whenever that happens, that kind of puts him up near the top for the slot. When it doesn't though, I mean, yeah, he's probably kind of below these other guys. So I guess he's a little bit risky in that respect, but I mean, you got to take your chances. The Force do like to maul. It's not like, the Waratahs are just have an unstoppable maul defense or whatever. So yeah, I think Tizzano is a good shout. I'd be pretty happy having him instead of Segner. With Mick Wright, well, I mean, Mick Wright was so good for that first half of the season. And this back end here, it's kind of been a bit of a mixed bag. I haven't picked him this week because, I was inclined to pick Reds players in other slots. But yeah, I don't think he would be a bad option at all. He didn't play against the Drua earlier in the year, but I think that is still a matchup where he could do decently. And then after that, I mean, we've got Segner, Samu, Leo Willie. I mean, these are guys who we've seen them do well already. So yeah, kind of. Leo Willie's been good lately, right? I mean, he got this 55 against the Chiefs. Like, he really put in a big shift in that game, right? So yeah, maybe he's another guy trying to put his hand up. I wouldn't be surprised if he does pretty well this game as well. Pete Samu, I mean, this is his first game back after being out for a couple of weeks. But look, against the Force, he should still do well. And yeah, Segner, the thing I like about Segner is that he can just be good on both sides of the ball, right? I mean, before this Hurricanes game, like, he'd had a couple of duds, but yeah, he still feels like a solid pick to me, and I do expect the Blues to go kind of well against the Chiefs, and I do expect that game to be very forwards oriented. So yeah, I think he could go well, but it's definitely not a pick that I'm super attached to. Now in the locks, and yeah, it's kind of the usual suspects plus a couple more. I think Lachlan Shaw, if you have the Brumbies slots, I think he's kind of the closest thing to a must pick this week. I mean, he's been good anyway for the rest of the year, right? Like, he just has a nose for the line. Coming up against Moana, there's probably going to be opportunities for him, right? The Brumbies, as I've already explained, are probably going to be looking for tries, looking for points to sort of help them potentially secure that third spot. So yeah, I think he's first pick unless you really want to pick Brumbies elsewhere and you're heading up against that 4-pick limit. Next pick after that, I mean, I've gone with Jeremy Williams just because I feel like he's going to play the the full 80. Like, he really hasn't been subbed that often this year. He is the captain. Sam Derry, on the other hand, I mean, he probably isn't going to get subbed, right? Because it's Derry and Berry this week, and McConnell's on the bench, so probably Berry gets subbed because he has been out for a little while, right? He might not be back to match fitness, but I still just kind of like the Williams pick because he can get up there and get those line-out steals. You do have the Reds locks this week, though. Like, I mean, Canham, he did really good last week, right? That was his first game back, got a try. Even without the try, I mean, you wouldn't be that mad about 30 points in a lock slot, right? And then Salakai Lotto, I mean, if you didn't hear the news, Salakai Lotto, he's a new dad. A baby's just come into his life, so you know, these players, when their babies are born, they just kind of go up another level, right? So so when you think about how this guy plays, he's in a good matchup with the dad buff. You know, who knows what could happen for him. Then with hooker, things are kind of interesting at hooker. I think your solid option is Cody Taylor, right? Because yeah, we know he's going to get the minutes, and I mean, he's just been kind of in good form, right? He is the solid pick, and I do expect the Crusaders to do well against the Hurricanes. And your other option, I think, your gamble option, if you're playing catch up, it is Matty Fezler, just because, again, it's that Enduro matchup. So yeah, we have seen the Enduro concede a lot to Mauls, so that's kind of what opens the door for Matt Fezler here. Potentially, you know, they get a couple of more tries. That's 2 tries for him. That could be enough to push him up into the top spot for this hooker slot. It is risky though, right? Not something to take for granted. Fezler, I mean, you know, hasn't been putting up amazing scores otherwise, so yeah, go into that one with your eyes open. Other options you might want to look at, though, if you don't want to gamble on the Maul tries, but you don't want to go with Cody because everyone else might be. I mean, I think your next cab off the rank probably is Tyrone Thompson, interestingly enough, just because Spider's average on a points per minute basis, he has actually been very strong, right? His average is just low because he often has come off the bench, but per 80 minutes, no, he has been very, very good, better than anyone else here, in fact. His line-out throwing is also very good as well. It's like 94% or something as well, which doesn't really matter that much fantasy-wise. There's not much on the line with line-outs, but yeah, that's still something that counts. After him, I mean, there is Raymond Tuputupu. Again, this is another guy that does pretty well on a points per minute basis. He's slightly behind Thompson, but this guy, he kind of just has made up points just from doing very big carries, right? He has quite a lot of defenders beaten for someone who doesn't have a lot of carries, doesn't have a lot of minutes, but if you watched him play, he just kind of goes hard, right? So his line-out throwing is not so great though, down around like 85 or something, not very good. But yeah, those are, well, actually, and the other option is Moananu. I'm just a fan of Moananu, man. Like, yeah, he can sort of do it all. He can get over the ball, get those turnovers. He's hard to stop close to the line if the Tars do get in that position. Yeah, I think it's just being stuck at the Tars, right? It's kind of, you don't necessarily get those opportunities all the time, but yeah, I mean, if this game is an arm wrestle, like, yeah, I think he's a guy who could make a fist of it, right? Like, I mean, if he was there in that last game where the Force had all that ball, I mean, he probably would have got a bunch of turnovers, right? So yeah, he's another option who I think is good. Now with the props, and like I always say, I mean, it's kind of much of a muchness, right? I think if you haven't already picked your 4 Brumbies players, Alanella Alatoa makes a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, like he's just a prop who can get tries, and it's that minor Pacifica matchup. And yeah, it just means that there is going to be the opportunity there for him to do that. Beyond that, though, yeah, it's kind of doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. I've gone with Newell and Profit. That blue scrum isn't very strong, so yeah, potentially Chiefs could come away with more scrum points from that matchup, but you never know how many scrums is going to be in the game, right? It's not something that the props actually get to decide. I mean, Numia, he's been pretty good in recent weeks as well. Like, yeah, Tyrell Lomax is back this week as well, but he's also never really been a particularly exciting fantasy pick anyway. So, yeah, much of a muchness, in my opinion. Go for whoever. I don't think it makes that much difference. Now, with the captains and your boosters for that matter, you got a couple of options here. Again, thinking about it in terms of having your conservative options and then your more risky options if you're playing catch up. I mean, your safe options, as usual, I think it's your hooker and your 10. These guys, I mean, they're pretty much always going to get like 40 points, maybe 40 to 50, potentially more in the case of the 10, potentially. So that makes them pretty solid, right? They just get passive points from the goal kicking, from the lineouts, from the scrums. That is what makes them solid. Although if you've gone with Fezler, I mean, he is more of a risky option, so don't captain him as a conservative option if that is what you're looking for. But if you've got someone like Cody, yeah, that will kind of just, you know, you're not risking like you are on an outside back, having a guy that only gets like 20 points or something and costs you a lead. So yeah, other options though, I mean, you got Charlie Cale. I've got him highlighted at the moment. I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy for back rowers to be legitimate captain options, but I mean, look at these scores, man. Like 100 points, 76 points, all these sort of 50s in here. It was 48 his lowest score apart from when he got injured. Yeah, 48 was his lowest score. So it's like, and now he's back and he's up against Moana Pacifica. Like, yeah, there's a lot of potential for him here. He is solid and there's a lot of potential. The only risk element to this is the fact that he is coming back from injury, but you know, maybe he's not match fit. Maybe he gets subbed, although I don't think that will happen. Like I said earlier, Luke Reimer's on the bench, probably replaces Rory Scott. So yeah, I think he still is a solid option with high upside potential as well, but just be aware of those potential risks. And beyond that, I mean, you're just looking at your outside backs, right? And it depends on who you got there. I don't know if everyone will sort of be approaching this like me, like stacking up on the Brumbies and the Reds. I think a lot of people will, but I don't know. I think some people might still be investing in these Crusaders and Hurricanes as well. It will be interesting to see after the round is done and I look at the leaderboards. But yeah, if I was going to go for an outside back, it probably would be Corey Toole. Or if you want to play it a little bit safer, Tom Wright. Well, this is it, guys. This was the last best picks video of 2026. It's been a good year, I think. A good year of rugby and a good year of fantasy, an improved one. I think we definitely still need to keep tweaking this competition to you know, like make it more interesting. And yeah, I will be making, in my recap video next week, I will be providing a bit of feedback to share my ideas about how we can improve this game. So interested to hear in the comments for this one what feedback feedback you guys have, how you guys think the game could be improved. But beyond that, I mean, in that recap video, also probably share a few chats as well, just to sum up the season, as well as taking a final look at the leaderboards, both the leaderboard for our league, but also the global leaderboard as well. Because yeah, it's always fun to see how things play out at the top. Remember, one of the guys in our league, Aiden Collins, he's right up there. He's got a bit of ground to make up, but he is in there with a shot, so I'll be keeping an eye on that. I don't know if you're still watching, Aiden, but yeah, if you are, good luck, man. I hope things go well for you. And for everybody else, I mean, I know a lot of you guys don't watch the recap videos, so I just want to say, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing the journey. Hope you've appreciated the videos, and yeah, just hope you have a good rest of your year, and hopefully you come back next year as well. And I'll catch you then. Until then, see you later.